والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله الحمد لله بل ما كيف لام الأستاذ موسى كابون نيويورك الحمد لله أستاذ موسى مغمي الحمد لله نيويورك فام أبين نيويورك فامين الحمد لله سلامو بينو وكاتشا سلامو بيانوندو سلامو دكتور بولا إيه انجينير بولا توسلا دون موسى أستاذ موسى ننا يغرق كنت دكتور سومينا على ركومي مغولا على ركومي مغولا سلي على ركومي almamuna ti ube mɔgɔw laseli juma la dɔgɔtɔrɔso kɔnɔna la parce que dɔgɔtɔrɔso mɔgɔw ye silamɛw bonya kosɛbɛ u ye yɔrɔ kelenkelen u ye musola plasi di fɛngɛw ma silamɛw ma u bɛ juma seli yɔrɔ min na n'u b'u ka seli kɛ yɔrɔ min na donc ustad musa ale de tun b'o charge ale de tun b'o baaraw kɛ alhamdulillah this is our beloved ustad inshallah ustad musa alhamdulillah someone that I met when I was in Albany alhamdulillah and I met him at the hospital mashallah where ustad was in charge of the directing the khutab. Those who give the khutbah, he was himself, alhamdulillah. Those who give the khutbah are Albany men, alhamdulillah. The Muslims are plentiful over there. As a result, you find that Muslims are doctors and engineers and stuff, so they are respected. And the hospital, Albany Medical Hospital, gave them an area where in alhamdulillah, musalla, they make the prayers and they establish Jumu'ah. So Ustadh Musa Sawallahu Khairan, he was among those. He was the one in charge of, alhamdulillah, bringing different people to give the khutbah, and he himself, alhamdulillah, will give the khutbah. Jazakallah khair, alhamdulillah. We have the pleasure of meeting of our interview, inshallah. He's going to tell us about his journey to Al-Islam. Faddal ya Shaykhana, barakallahu feekum.
Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So yeah, my name is Musa Abu Hamza. Yeah, I was born and raised in Albany, New York, the capital of New York, and which is upstate New York. And yeah, I'm 45 years old. And so yeah, I did work in Albany Medical Center, where alhamdulillah, we have a lot of Muslims there. And mashallah, you know, the Muslims are respected. And alhamdulillah, we have two musallas, you know, that we pretty much use and in the hospital, and we have Jumu'ah over there, and there's always over 100 people, alhamdulillah, for the Jumu'ah khutbah and everything, for the salah over there. So alhamdulillah, there's a lot of Muslims, and yeah, alhamdulillah, the Muslims are doing really good in the Albany Medical Center. Yeah, alhamdulillah. And I work for the laboratory there. Naam.
Faddal, Sheikh, faddal.
Yeah, so I did work for the laboratory at Albany Medical Center for 20 years. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, Ustadh Musa, alhamdulillah. Alek me baraka obtali lana faira fo chomna e fana ko islama o kachia New York Albany ko islama o respecter no ko sibe jusqu'à ce que yesel yoro flan islama ma donc alek me baraka o la zawla khaira Sheikh Ustadh Musa inshallah, if you can now inshallah briefly tell us about your journey to Islam, how you became Muslim, barakallahu feekum.
Yes, so subhanallah, growing up, you know, I really didn't know like the core beliefs of Muslims, but I did know of a few, especially Muslims that were like, namely Muhammad Ali, the great boxer, who was very known, and he was very proud of his Islam. He was very, you know, courageous. You know, some of the things that he did, you know, he didn't go into the army because of his Islamic beliefs, and I didn't know his core beliefs. But I just knew like Muslims are like, you know, very courageous, very strong. They speak truth to power. So I knew of Malcolm X, that Muhammad Ali, you know, that he was a Muslim. And I knew of Malcolm X, who was also a great Muslim. Growing up, I had him on my wall. I didn't know his core beliefs, but I just saw these people as, you know, these Muslims are like, you know, strong. Like they're, you know, seeing Malcolm X, you know, he was like, you know, intelligent, you know, the way he would speak, he was so, you know, articulate in the way he spoke. He was, he spoke truth to power, and he was like, you know, encouraging, you know, subhanAllah. I didn't know their beliefs, but they were like really strong men. And so growing up, we saw Muslims as family people, people who have discipline, good people, subhanAllah. And so these are the people that I knew, you know, who were famous. I mean, I knew them from the, you know, TV and things like that. But I did run into Muslims here and there throughout my, you know, my younger years. And subhanAllah, my experience with Muslims were, you know, they were good people, honest people, people of integrity. And so, actually, I embraced Islam at 17 years old, June of 1997. I embraced Islam then. And, but it was because meeting Muslims, talking to them giving me encouraging words, subhanAllah, and their honesty and just the way Muslims, you know, how they were dealing with each other, how they were dealing with me. You know, I just was really, you know, impressed by Muslim peoples, subhanAllah.
Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah nga karamu Ustadh Musa ko. Aleto na silama yala chigomna. Aleto aka jeniala. Silama dokumen nuru jara ekosibe. Ale ay silamo ya mugom courage bula fanga bula. Iba solo upurulento de we down la motusala. Aya ka foko Malcolm X. Okun Islamai. Okun Islamai American noir de kundu. Malcolm X dialari ekosibe jusqu'à ce que Malcolm X photo placayor aka soko nala. Okofe Mohamed Ali, le grand boxeur là, ala kanyina rahimahullah, rahimahumullah. Ofana diara e kosiba nyama la kabe boxuki atesina moshi atesina foye mabesera ala drone. O be diara e aya e fana abe ka korba nyama la silama ofleni uka comportement mambula o te galanti o te namarake. Donc o diara e kosiba à l'âge de 17 ans a donné silama ala barakallahu fi ya ustad inshallah. But at what point actually what was the what actually made you want to take the shahada?
So, you know, subhanAllah, at the time, you know, I met Muslims and some of my friends, we actually joined like a group that is, they're not actually Muslims, but they use the word Islam. But that I joined them, but then I started to meet like true Muslims, practicing Muslims, and then I just was so impressed by them. And I decided one day to go to the masjid. I decided to go to the masjid. I never went to the masjid before that. And so I decided to go, subhanAllah. It was the one of the most beautiful experiences of my life, subhanAllah. I went to the masjid and I didn't know what to do, subhanAllah, because actually the musalla was closed, the doors were closed, and this the shoe area. So I didn't know what to do. I never went into a masjid before. And subhanAllah, back in those days, there were payphones. So I went across the street, I called the masjid, the number to the masjid, and subhanAllah, some youth came to greet me and take me in. And so I went in and I was sitting with a bunch of youth, subhanAllah. And I was young myself, I was 17, but a little older than some of the kids who were learning over there. And subhanAllah, the teacher there, Jazakallah khair, he really, and he embraced me. He took me like under his wing. He really like he took me in, subhanAllah, and just really, you know, spent a lot of time with me. I was sitting with him one-on-one, and subhanAllah, he started to just teach me about Islam, the basic things, basic you know, beliefs of Muslims. And subhanAllah, even before I became Muslim, I started to memorize some surahs. I memorized the alphabet, you know, Arabic alphabet, and subhanAllah, I was just like really, but subhanAllah, I remember the first day I ever went to the masjid. I went in and subhanAllah, I felt like this sakina. I felt something like, so I just felt really good, at peace, you know, in the masjid. So I went there and I just felt this sakina. And subhanAllah, I kept visiting. And then the brother, you know, he actually, he said, you know, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? Or what, you know? So subhanAllah, I said, yeah, I want to do it. I want to accept Islam. And so yeah, I said shahada in the small group, and then we went to the masjid and went to like Jumu'ah after Salat al-Jumu'ah. Then I said the shahada with the community and everything, and it was this like subhanAllah, it was amazing, amazing. And this is 1997, you know.
Allahu Akbar. Donc,
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, Ankaramo Ustadh Musa, 1997, 1987. Alhamdulillah, aka kalimatu shahada ta chodi. Ala yake alhamdulillah, ani Islamo do nyogon do jeune de parce que wati ali même il avait 17 ans. Donc ani jeune nyogon do a décidé kata misri la. أبتوع تا مسير لا مسير المامين كوني فراش ما مسير المامين كي يوم غنيا ما باي مسير المامين كون بالا سي أكشوا من باكونا بالا كلا بدينا نفوا بس لما ينفوا كان يفوا سلما يننا ديا يا سلما كلمة شهادة تفلو سلما يننا ديا جيس كاسك عليه كوما سلما سلما يكلم أبيك أيسك سلما كورانا بكلا شغم نبيك أيسك كلا donc ko fa alhamdulillah ka tagali chara misila jusqu'à ce que dokama ko kite kalimatu shahadata ka do islamala décidé ka kalimatu shahadata do islamala walhamdulillah rabbil alamin Ustadh Musa inshallah any general advice for the Muslims inshallah.
Yeah, I would say, subhanallah, the thing, especially for converts, people who accept Islam, I mean, and for every one of us, actually, every Muslim has to be connected to the masjid. I'm telling myself and everyone, inshallah ta'ala, being connected to the masjid is extremely important, because, you go to the masjid, you may find, you're going to you may learn something today. You may go there and you get some beneficial knowledge. You may, come across someone who, subhanallah, inspires you and so many things like that. So I would say, and we have to surround ourselves with good people, people of khair, people who are going to, remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I would say, search these people out and befriend them, become friends with them. Because, subhanallah, when you have the good people around you, they're going to remind you, they're going to encourage you. Subhanallah, it happens that you meet a brother who's memorizing the Quran, and you hear his voice, you hear his, you may say, like, I want to memorize too. Like, I need to memorize too. I need to step my game up too. I need to do better myself, So being around the good people will definitely, inshallah, bring you and, bring you up, encourage you. So I would say that would be my encouragement, inshallah, for myself and every one of us, inshallah ta'ala.
Allahu Akbar, beautiful advice. Alhamdulillah nga Ustadh Musa ako ladrika min babu la nyani nga ladrika min babu lo kadi islama bila jilma kale ka ladrika mi kadi islama bila jilma beka to gata misrila ikata la kasole gata misrila ikata sili ko pasi ni tara misrila sisa alhamdulillah ibna darsu ta ibna family sorotina kuna ani frani tara misrila ibna soro dobe no beni encourage tina kula ibta do soro misrila konna la abega kurana kala ka kurana kan kadi obena kunana kalani kanundo ere duskuna akofana alhamdulillah anga jija kam gonyuma ngeranye la anga tere nyuma nyine to close with Ustadh Musa alhamdulillah you were known, may Allah bless you with doing a lot of work with the youth. Alhamdulillah, I remember you took us to preach and stuff like that.
That's right, that's right.
I want you to share that funny story when I was trying to show off.
That's right. We have to, I still have to send you this video, inshallah ta'ala. This was one of the best moments we had ever, the youth, and we going out to the, subhanallah, going out to the mountains and swimming in the mountains with the nature and the brotherhood, eating together, praying together, all these things. We were together, and that was a beautiful time, taking all these youth to the mountains and, nature and everything. It was beautiful, beautiful time.
Can you share that specific incident when I was trying to show off, trying to throw
myself? Yes. So we went to a swimming hole, and this hole was in the mountains, and you were gonna jump, you're gonna dive in, and you actually did like a belly flop, and your whole body smacked the water so hard. Everyone was in shock. It was funny, but it was like, oh, what did he do? I have to send you the video, inshallah ta'ala. This was one of the best moments.
Wallahi, Sheikh Musa, I thought I was dead. I wanted to show off. So when I went out,
this was good.
When I went under the water, wallahi, I thought I was dead. I couldn't like.
Subhanallah. This was a funny. I have it on record. I have it on a video somewhere. I'm gonna send it to you, inshallah ta'ala.
Jazakumullah khairan, Sheikh Ustadh. I'm gonna just translate that part and then we're done, inshallah.
Inshallah ta'ala. Inshallah ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah, kanto New York, ibasro. Akada ya demtanu kada ko siwa to ka jenu ta me to ka ta voyage ke amta yoro la amta dumne ke yoro la amta restaurant ame fecha manke. Donc isar min do alhamdulillah yafo. Oui, alhamdulillah, antara plage dora, antara poliro dora, et puis ne la montagne, ça fait qu'il y a fini, comme fait qu'amour là, il y a le drone. Jazakumullah khair, Cheikh Ustadh Musa, barakallahu fikum.
Barakallahu fikum. Barakallahu fikum. Now.